Do you want to know the best way to buy your very first house hack? A way in which you'll get to choose the neighborhood you want to live in. You can negotiate directly with the seller and you're not getting outbid like crazy on the properties that you really want. Well, if you have interest in any of those items, stay tuned to the end of this video, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over all three items. I'm going to show you the steps in the process you need to take in order to have success and get your very first house hack in the next 90 days. So let's dive into the definition of a house hack. House hack describes the practice of buying a multi-unit property, living in one unit and renting out the others. Now, why would someone do this? What is the point of even trying to house hack? First off, it's the easiest way to get involved in real estate investing. It's you're basically dipping your foot into the real estate investment niche with hardly any risk. So whether you own the property and you're renting out the other bedrooms or you're renting out the other units, it limits the actual risk that you're going to face. I want to give you a story or an example just to kind of facilitate this point a little bit better, and that's in regards to a friend of mine bought an upper-lower duplex ad. So when my friend had purchased the property, I was representing him as a realtor. And when he purchased the property, it was bought for like $90-some thousand. So very reasonable. But the upper unit, I want to say, was renting for $535. His lower unit, if he decided to lease that out now, at least in today's market, it would probably be right around that $700 a month mark. So he's clearing in excess of his actual debt service payment quite a few $100s per month. Now, him and his now wife decided to live in the lower unit. And what did they do? Well, they were able to first pay their mortgage almost in full every single month from the tenant's rent, and find an easy way to get involved in real estate investments and kind of keep the reoccurring path going. And the nice part about doing a house hack, which I'll get into here shortly, is you can get into investment property for as little as 3.5% to 5% down. So let's jump into the nitty-gritty detail in breaking a house hack down and how you can get yours in the next 90 days. So the number one thing you need to do starting out is get your financing in order. And I'm going to relate this whole scenario, this whole house hack scenario, to basically baking a cake. So what is the first thing you need in baking a cake? Well, first off, the recipe is obviously important. But more important than that is the ingredients that go into the cake. So financing is like the ingredients in a cake. It's the ingredients to buying your first property. If you can't get financing, if you can't get ingredients, you're not going to be able to do what you want to do. So my recommendation, the biggest thing that you can do, is reach out to a local mortgage lender. Now you might be asking, Carter, why not reach out to a bank or community or a credit union? And the reason for this is mortgage lenders have more favorable loans than banks or credit unions when it comes to first-time home buyers, and especially when it comes to house hacking. Now, house hacking, you might think, okay, well, why would that differ than a conventional loan, or why would that be different than a conventional loan? And the biggest thing about house hacking is you're buying an investment property. So a lot of the commercial and conventional banks want you to have at least 20% down on those purchases, whereas a mortgage lender will allow you to have 3.5%, 5% down, and they can either do an FHA product, which is a government subsidized loan, they can do a VA product, which is a veteran loan, or they could do a lower percent down conventional product, such as 5% or 3% possibly in certain circumstances. This is the most important part of the home buying process, because if you don't know what your finances are, first off, you don't know how much you can afford. And for those of you who are wondering how to find a mortgage lender, it's very simple. First off, you might want to reach out to a real estate agent that you know that you've been working with and say, do you know any mortgage lenders that I could talk to? Or if you're bored in your free time, go on Google, type in mortgage lenders near me, and then start calling those people and telling them what you want to do. See if they have any loan options that might fit what you're looking for. So after you do all that, now we have the ingredients to start assembling your first house hack. Now let's jump into point number 2 on what you need to do next. So point number 2 is identifying what type of property you're looking for. And let's bring this back to the cake example like I did before. But identifying the property you're looking for is basically like finding the recipe for what you want to make. Like cakes and muffins might have similar ingredients, similar bake times, everything like that. But you need to know, are you making a cake? Are you making a muffin? Are you buying a duplex? Are you buying a 4-unit or buying a 3-unit or a single family house? You need to identify this right away. Now with the house hack, the benefits of either property is with a single family house, you're gonna have to rent out the bedrooms, so you're gonna be closer to the tenants. Now with the duplex, obviously you're in one unit and the tenant's in the other. With a 3 and 4 unit, they're way more expensive. But you also have the tenants paying a lot more in rent that you can pay down your mortgage with. So there's pros and cons to each. I would say identify which ones you want to get in the most, and you want to have at least some stepping stones in the process so you can best do it and you're motivated to do it at the end of the day. Now using that and going into point number 3, you need to start talking with landlords. You need to start taking the right action steps immediately. Now, how do you do this? How do you talk with landlords? How do you even associate yourself with landlords? Well, the first thing that I would recommend doing is going on Facebook. Now, once you're on Facebook, type in your city name, local real estate investor meetup or real estate investment association, and then join that group. After you join the group, post into the group and say, hi there, my name's so-and-so. I'm a first-time investment property buyer. I'm looking at buying my first house hack or a property that I can live in and owner-occupy. And I'm wondering if anyone wants to sell any investment property they have, and you can name the specific property type you're looking for. And in your post, you probably want to put that you're willing to pay full retail value for the properties, even if they might need a little bit of TLC, because landlords, the biggest thing for landlords is an easy transaction, not scaring the tenants, and then getting a full maximum value for their property, because we talk to property owners all the time, but we're at a very low price point compared to what they are wanting. So again, like I said, go on Facebook, join your local real estate investment meetup, or go to an in-person meetup, even better, and then talk to the landlords there. See who is looking at selling the property type that you want and build relationships. Go tour the properties and go from there. Okay, so we went over the steps in the process. I've given you the ingredients, the recipe. I've given you the actual bake time on what you're going to have to do and the action items you need to take. And now it is up to you to start taking action on those items. But there is one last fear that you might have. I don't know what to do when I talk with landlords. I don't know anything about contracts, negotiation, real estate. This is my first property. I've watched a ton of YouTube videos, but I just don't know what to do. So my last recommendation is become friends or become acquaintances with an investor-friendly realtor or a realtor who at least has experience in what you are trying to do. One that sold duplexes or triplexes or 4 units in the past that you can talk with, that you can get a sense or an idea, and ask them if they would help you out. And you might be thinking, well, Carter, if I'm going directly to the landlord, who's going to pay their commission? And you have 2 options. You can either have the landlord pay it by building it into your offer to purchase price, or the second option is you pay it out of pocket. And depending upon the realtor, it might be 2, 3, 4% commission. But my last recommendation would be to get in contact with the investor-friendly realtor and become acquaintances, because they will be an invaluable resource when it comes down to it and will make you more money than they cost you. And the last thing with realtors, they already have the list of inspectors, vendors, appraisers, mortgage lenders. They have all the information that you need to successfully complete your first house hack. Now, if you have any questions whatsoever, if you're like, Carter, can you explain things a little bit better? Comment down below. I'll try to answer your questions, or I could even jump on a call with you. Or feel free to shoot me an email, carter@carterppc.com. You can reach out to me there, connect with me. I do my best to respond to everyone. But if there is anything I can do, just please let me know. And if you got any value from this video, hit the subscribe button right now. I would greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, I wish you the ultimate success, and I will see you in the next video.